Hello everyone, what's up? Today in this video, I'm going to be telling you that how you can save your current Linux configuration and switch to another one in an instant. And with this method, you'll also be able to share your Linux configurations or your dot files to other people in an instant. They'll be able to import your configurations and use your configurations. So let's begin this video. So first of all, open up your browser and go to this link. Now the program we'll be using is Konsave. This is fairly new, and first of all I would like to thank to all the contributors who contributed to this program, because without them Konsave wouldn't be what it is today. So Konsave lets you save and apply your Linux customizations with just one command. So let's say that you have Breeze theme installed and applied on your KDE Plasma desktop, and you save that as a profile in Konsave. And now if you switch to another theme, then you will be able to share those profiles and or themes to other people, and they'll be able to use a setup which is exactly like yours. So to install Konsave, copy this command, open up your terminal and paste this command, and Konsave has been installed. Now the current version is 2.0.2. When you first launch Konsave, you will be prompted to enter your desktop environment. For KDE Plasma users, Konsave is pre-configured, but for other users, Konsave is not configured. You will have to configure it yourself. Now don't worry, I'll tell you that how you can configure Konsave. It's very easy, so keep watching. So I'll enter 1 because I'm using KDE Plasma right now, and now you'll get this help text. This means that Konsave has been configured correctly. And now let me tell you about the first command. If you enter Konsave, you'll get this help text, and the first one is Konsave help, which also prints this help text, so it's kind of useless. So let us now look at the second command. The second one is list. Now this will list all the saved Linux configurations that you have. Now I haven't saved any right now, so it says no profile found. I currently have this Breeze theme applied as my current global theme, so I can save my whole configuration using Konsave save and then the name I want. I'll name it Breeze Dark. If I press enter, you'll see saving profile and then profile saved successfully. If you now enter Konsave list, you'll see that Breeze Dark is listed here. Now what I can do is I can switch to another theme, I can change the icon pack, I can change the panels, I can do whatever I want without any issues. Let's say I switch to Breath 2 right now. So, and let me change the colors to Breath 2 dark. So, and let me also change the wallpaper. So let's say the wallpaper is this. So now I have changed all the things that I wanted to. Let's also add a widget. Let's add an analog clock here. Let's move it to here, and now this is what I want to save now. So I can again enter Konsave save Breath 2 dark. Now I have saved this as Breath 2 dark, and now if I list all the profiles, I have Breeze Dark and Breath 2 dark. Now let's say I got bored of this theme and now I want to switch to Breeze Dark, but I'm too lazy to switch everything like the icon packs and the cursors and the wallpaper. I just want to switch to the old theme I had in an instant. I can do that. I can enter Konsave, apply, and then the ID. The ID is 1 for Breeze Dark, so I'll enter 1 and press enter, and then everything has changed. If I now log out and log in, I'll be greeted with the Breeze Dark theme. I can also restart my KDE Plasma. If I restart the KDE Plasma, as you can see, the wallpaper has changed in the background, and let's just wait for some time. And as you can see, the clock has gone, which was not here before. the icon packs have changed, and the cursor has changed, and the wallpaper has changed. Everything has changed, and that too with just one command. Let's say I got bored of this again. I go to Breeze Dark again. Now I can switch to Breath to Dark again. Let me write Konsave apply to, and now if I restart KDE Plasma or log out and log in again, the wallpaper will be back, everything will be back, and the widget is also back, the panels, everything is back. So this is what I was talking about when I said Konsave lets you switch to your Linux customizations in an instant. Now here's the fun part of Konsave. Konsave lets you export your profiles as a .knsv file, and you can share that profile to other people, and they'll be able to import that into their PCs, and they'll be able to use your exact same setup in their PCs. Let me show you how. So let me first write Konsave list. Now these are the listed profiles. To export a profile, I have to enter Konsave export and then the ID of the profile that I want to export. Let's say that I want to export the Breeze Dark profile. I'll press Konsave export and then 1, and then it will export everything that's important for KDE Plasma users. This is pre-configured, and telling you this again. If you don't use KDE Plasma, then you'll have to configure Konsave yourself. I'll tell you how later in the video. So as you can see, in the home directory, a new file has been created with the name breezedark.knsv. If I open it up, you'll see that it has some important .files and my themes, like my fonts, my color schemes, everything that I have on this PC. And this file is not too big. This file is only 23.8 megabytes large. So if by mistake I remove this profile, I can import it again. Let's import the Breeze Dark profile from the home directory using --import and then the paths to the KNSV file. And now, as you can see, I have the Breeze Dark profile. Now this is exactly how your friends have to import your profiles that you share to them. They'll be able to import it and they'll be able to switch to it in an instant like this. I'll just have to restart KDE for now, and now everything is back to the Breeze Dark theme. You just have to wait for a few seconds, and then as you can see, the clock is gone, which was there with the Breath 2 theme, and the icon packs have changed. Isn't this amazing? Now let me show you by importing another theme which I have here. This is a profile that I exported before, and now I'll show you by importing this profile. So I can import this profile using Konsave import, and this one is Kogger Dark. So this one is Kogger Dark. If I import it, then I'll have to wait for a few seconds, and now the profile has been successfully imported. If I now enter Konsave list, I have Kogger Dark listed here. So if I now apply that and restart my KDE Plasma, you will see that the wallpaper has changed, and the themes, the icon packs, everything has changed. The cursor has also changed. The cursor will change when I log out and log in, because some things don't change if you don't log out. Now everything has changed successfully, and this is what I was talking about when I told you about Konsave. You can share your profiles and switch to them in almost an instant. So now let me tell you how to configure Konsave if you don't use KDE Plasma. So the configuration file for Konsave is located in your home directory, then the config folder, and then Konsave. So .config, then Konsave. So this is where all your profiles are saved, and this is a temporary folder, and this is the conf.yaml file which you have to edit. You can open it using Git or whatever code editor you want to use, and this is the config file. Now this is the one that was pre-configured for KDE Plasma users. If you don't use KDE, then it will be quite empty. It won't have these entries and it won't have all this stuff. It will only have the save, export and a few comments that will help you configure Konsave. So let me tell you how to configure it. So there are two sections in Konsave. One is the save section and the another one is the export section. In the export section, you'll have to add files which you don't want to back up in your PC, but you want to export them when you export your profile. So let me show you how. So in the save section, you'll have to add the dot files that you want to back up. So let me first name it something. I'll name it config. You can name it whatever you want, and then you'll have to enter the location of the folder that you want to back up. So the config folder is here and it is the config directory. So you can use a few variables. So I'll use this config.dir variable which refers to this directory. So in the location I'll enter config.dir, and now this config.dir points to this directory, my home directory, and then the config folder. So now in this folder I'll add the files which I want to back up. Let's say I want to back up my GTK-RC. So GTK-RC, I want to back up all these three GTK folders. So I'll enter GTK 2.0, GTK 3.0, GTK 4.0, and now whenever I save a profile, all these files will be backed up. Only these files will be backed up. And let's say I also want to save my KDE globals, which is here, this file. Let's say I also want to save my KDE D5RC. So I'll enter KDE D5RC, and now these are the files which will be backed up whenever I save a profile. Now let's say these files are fine, but I also want to save some other files which are stored in some other location. Now I can do that too. I just have to write another name. So let's say I want to save my Firefox themes. So the folder is Mozilla Firefox, and in the default release folder there's this Chrome folder. Now this contains all the custom style sheets that you can use to customize Firefox. Now let's say I want to save this folder. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to enter a name. I'll name it Firefox. I'll have to enter the location of the folder. So the folder is located in the home directory. So I'm using the home variable right now, which is this variable, and in the home directory in the .mozilla folder and Firefox, and then there's this folder which has a variable name. That means the name of this folder differs on every PC. So only the last part of this folder is same, and the front part of this folder, this one, is not. So I can use this function that is ends with, and this function can be used to find folders whose names end with the thing in these quotation marks. So this folder, the name of this folder ends with .default release. So I'll copy this and paste it here. So it will find the name of that folder whose name ends with .default release. So this is the Firefox folder, and now let us look at entries. Now for entries, I'll only choose the Chrome folder, which is this one, and my Firefox folder is complete. So there's also this begins with function for folders with different names on different computers, but their names start with the same thing. So this is the ends with function and this is the begins with function. I'll add more in the future, but these are the few variables and functions that you can use in the locations. And now let's add my VS Code configuration files. So I'll enter VS Code, location will be in my home folder. Let me show you the file first. So in the config directory, there's this code OSS folder, and it has this setting, and in the user folder there's this settings.json file which saves my current VS Code theme, my current icon pack, and my current font size, etc. So this is the file that saves all the customizations of VS Code. So let's say I want to save this folder, so I'll enter the path to this folder first of all. So the path is .config there. In the config directory, that is the home.config folder, there's a folder with the name code OSS and then user. Now this is the folder that I want to search in for, and the entries for the entries that I want to backup, the name of the file that I want to backup is settings.json. Now let's say these are the only files that I want to backup, these are the only dot files that I want to share when I save a profile. Now let's come to this export part. Now this export section can include files that you don't want to save to your PC, that you don't want to back up to your PC again and again, but you want to export them when you export a profile. So these may include files like your icon packs, complete icon packs, your complete themes, your fonts, which are already installed on your PC but aren't installed on other systems where you import these files. So let me give you an example of one of the files. So there's this themes folder in your home directory which stores all your GTK themes. So let's say I want to share all these GTK themes, so I'll name it whatever I want, and right now I'm naming it GTK, and I'll enter the location. The location is in the home folder. It's just the home folder, guys. Yes. And for the entries, I'll add the .themes folder, which is this one. So now this .themes folder will be backed up when I export this, whenever I export a profile. So let me also add another file. If I go to .local share, and then there are a lot of files here. Let's say that I save my wallpapers, this Kogel dark wallpaper. So what I can do is I can, let's say, name it wallpaper. You can name it whatever you want. Then I'll enter the location. The location is home.local share, and yes, and then for the entries I'll add wallpapers, the wallpapers folder. You can also add more stuff which is present in this folder, like Greta or Kdenlive or Kate, or your fonts. Let's say I want to add my fonts too, so I can also add another entry for my fonts. Now these are the files which will be backed up only when I export a profile, but these are the profiles which will always be backed up. So now that my config file is ready, I can start using Konsave. So let me show you. Let me open up the terminal, and now let us list all the profiles that I have. Let me first remove the last one, that is the Kogel dark. You can remove a profile using --remove and then the index number. So let me now list. I only have 2 themes now. Now if I save my profile as Kogel dark, then if I list my profiles, you will see no difference here. But if I open up the profiles directory that is present in config Konsave profiles, and in the Kogel dark folder, you'll see that all the files that I said that I want to backup are now here. I said that I wanted to backup my VS Code settings.json file. It is backed up. I wanted to store my Firefox Chrome folder. It is here. I wanted to add all the GTK files, the GTK RC, the KDE5 RC, KDE globals, all the files that are listed in the save section of this config file, the GTK files, the KDE file, the Firefox folder, the VS Code folder, all are here. Now let's say that I want to export this profile. I'll export this profile using Coger Dark. Let me first back up this profile. Let's say I want to export this profile. If I press enter, the file will be exported and as a KNSP file. If I open it up, you'll see that there are two sections here. There's the save section, which has the VS Code file, the Firefox file, the config files that I wanted to back up. All the dot files are here, and also here is the GTK folder that I wanted to export. All the GTK themes are here, and all my wallpapers and fonts are here. So isn't this amazing? So now my friends can import this profile. I can share this file to them via the internet, and they can import this profile and they can have the exact same setup as me on their systems. So this is how you use Konsave. If you don't use KDE Plasma, this is how you configure Konsave to add dot files. And this was it. So thank you for watching. If you liked Konsave, please let me know. Please leave a like on this video if you liked it, and if you ever find a bug, please report all the bugs in the issues tab. Now these issues right here are some old issues which have been fixed, but if you find more issues, then please report them here. And you can also contribute to Konsave like all these contributors here. I would like to again thank all these contributors for contributing to Konsave. So now thank you for watching. I'll meet you in the next video.